Amy, who is not able to withstand the indifference of her husband, of not showing any feelings or sad emotions on the death of their child, now she's ready to go out of the home for some fresh air. So she moves the latch a little to open the door, and her husband tells not to go and tells somebody else about her worries. So he asks her to tell him about it, share everything what she feels in her mind and share it. So it's just like sharing between friends. They have to be like that. Husband and wife should share everything between themselves. So he explains to her that he is not different from other people, but it is her problem. She is thinking like that. She is the person who is keeping a distance from him. So if she gives him a chance, he will prove that he is not the way like she thinks. So he requests her to give him a chance to prove his sincerity, to prove that he also have same grief and sadness over their death's child. Although she is openly expressing it, but he is not able to do that. Maybe it is his behavior. So he asks her what it is that has made her take the loss of her child so inconsolably in spite of the love he bears for her, which may compensate for the loss and make her satisfied. So Amy again misinterprets her husband's consolatory words, and she comments that he is making fun of her or mocking her. So the husband again assures her that he is not doing it, and he tells him that he is annoyed with her comment. He is annoyed with how she behaves to him, and that he will come down to her to prevent everything, to solve everything out. So, commenting on her bluntness and stubbornness, he remarks what kind of a woman she is. That she does not even allow him to talk. She is not ready to listen to him. What he has to say about about their dead child. So Amy replies that he cannot speak about his own dead child because he does not know how to express his sadness. If he had feelings, if he had true feelings for their child, how could he? She asked, how could he dig its grave with his own hands? Because he has done it all by himself and came to the home. So she thinks that she has the her husband has lost the sensitiveness in him. So she tells that she herself saw him digging pieces of stones, making them leap in the air and fall down to form to do. So he himself made the graveyard or burial place for the dead child. So she tells him that she asked herself who this man was who was digging the grave. Was he seemed such a strange or an abnormal man to her? So she came downstairs again, look at him again, lifting his spade for digging the grave. Then she tells him he comes to the kitchen. So Amy heard his voice and she came there to see him with her own eyes. So there he was sitting with his shoes stained and soiled by the fresh earth from his own baby's grave. And he was talking about daily routines, matters as if nothing important had happened. So he was acting very normal and she couldn't accept it. So she saw that he had put his spade outside against the wall in the entrance. Everything seemed very natural or normal for him. So, listening to his wife's brutally accusing words, the husband feels like laughing the worst, laughter. He remarks that he really believes that he cursed by his wife. If he does not believe him to be cursed, that will make him feel cursed. So Amy again tells that she's ready to repeat the words spoken by him at that time to console her. So he had said that 3 foggy mornings and 1 rainy day can damage or rot the best and strongest birch fence that a man may have set up. So that is, even the greatest grief can be forgotten with the passage of time. So Amy says that she's surprised to see how a father could talk about the death of his child like that. So it is. So she meant that he does not care for the death of his child, and she became so much disgusted with the behavior of her husband, and she tells that even the closest friends do not mourn a man's death long and deeply enough. So their sorrow over death is so short lived that they might as well not feel it at all. So, from the time a man falls ill and is confined to bed, he remains alone. And when he dies, he is all the more alone. So, friends follow him to the grave only to show some, out of decorum, and before he is buried in it. Their minds turn away from the dead and they begin thinking about their worldly affairs. Everyone will be back to their normal life, thinking about what they want to do. You know, everyone will be minding their own business, how they have to understand their life, what all things has to be done. So all grief is like that, it is short lived. So Amy regards such behavior of the world as evil. The loss, what happened is a great loss. So you have to express it openly, and it will not end even time passes. So she says that it is, if it lies in her power, she will not allow grief to be so short lived, because grief on the death of own child is should not be short lived. It is forever, it is for a lifetime. So, having listened to Amy's statement, her husband tells that she has expressed her views. Maybe, when you tell everything from your heart, it will make you feel better. So that now she will not go out to tell someone about, for consolation. Now he asked her to close the door because he does not want anybody who is coming down the road to see their condition, that they are at the verge of a collapse. But Amy is not satisfied with the mere talk or discussion they had just done, and with the clarification, she is not satisfied by the clarification or consolation of her husband, because now she is feeling that disgust by his behavior, and she says that she must go out somewhere. She's not, she feels like a suffocation. So she opens the door to do so, and the husband tells her that wherever she intends to go, he will follow her. He tells her that if she goes out, he will follow her to bring back her to home, if forcibly. If he has to do it by force, he will do it definitely. So there the poem ends. So we don't know what is going to happen next. So at the end we can realize that the couple is in a very bad situation. They are at the verge of a collapse. So that's the second tragedy. That's a collapse of a marriage. The first tragedy has already been occurred. That's the death of their child. Now the after effect is the collapse of their marriage. So this is all about the poem Home Burial. So there is One another theme is that the limits of communication between people, or the communication gap, how you have to express your emotions and feelings openly. If you have to express something, you have to express it openly. But different people have their own kind of behavior. They will not, some will not open up what they think in their mind. So that's the, the temperament of different people. So in Home Burial we can see two such characters, Amy and her husband.